Michelle coming to you live at another broadcast on this fine and dreary morning. So, for some of you veterans who know about Garuda and some of you who may not know, there's what they call the Angel Devil, now, which is an equal exchange. Now, let's think about this for 1 minute, okay? I'm going to tell you what happened in a former game, just happened about 6 minutes ago. And what I'm going to tell you is going to be something I fucking find hilariously funny. Now, before I start humiliating this particular gamer, let me put it this way. If you're one of those type of gamers who have an issue with Garuda, please understand there's an equilibrium to Garuda's abilities and everything else. But don't use equilibrium in your Warframe, because that's like one thing you don't want to do. Anyways, let's go over her abilities. Dread Mirror, which is really good. You lunge attack, shit like that. Okay, well that's all fine and good. Now we have Blood Altar, which you suck out it says impale an enemy, Altar of Talons, siphon health for Garuda and her allies. Right, so this right here, this Blood Altar is helps along with your bloodletting. Now, bloodletting, there's a cost though for bloodletting. When you use bloodletting, you lose health, a certain percent. So it says here your health, you minus 50% of your health, but you gain 35% of your energy, which some people who don't know the concept of Garuda have no logic of what they're talking about. Now, I'm going to get into what I'm going to show you in a second. Blood Altar is actually helpful for this, for bloodletting. See, if you're using bloodletting to regenerate your energy, you need to do that. If you're running into tight spots or you don't have any orbs that show up, especially this works very well in a group of 3 other people who are joining you in a defense or other missions, which is very helpful, which, like I said, some people don't have the concept of what it does. Now, when you do Blood Altar, this helps along with this. So these two have to work together in time, because not all the time you're going to get a blue energy orb that's going to drop, especially on solo missions, or even if nobody is able to get them farmed. So this is very handy, especially if somebody like me who's in close quarters, when there's a bunch of enemies and they have the Blood Altar, draining the life force. Meanwhile, I am using either the Seeking Talons, which is very good for long distance. The damage is 204, which is actually considerably good. The bleed chance is decent, but it's not a lot, especially on higher mobs. Which you do, it's a slow tick time for the higher mobs, but it only lasts for a certain amount of time. The reason why is because only duration is 10 seconds. And here it's like the damage is small compared, like Blood Altar is a small percent, damage is 1%. But you gain a small health portion, which is 34%, which isn't, I can't say it's poor, but it's a little bit, to me it's actually pretty good. But considering the fact that I have, well, the requirements here obviously are just different. This is like nothing, so this is kind of like an unlimited use. But when you use that, you can actually regain your energy only by 35, and you can use Blood Altar to regenerate your health. Your Dread Mirror is very good. I actually like it because Dread Mirror actually it rips the life force from an enemy, but use a shield, captures damage. This kills significantly weakened enemies instantly. Charge to channel the captured damage into an explosive projectile, which is above the mirror, which looks like almost like a heart. And which is really good because being a Blood Queen, you have a lot of benefits and properties. I mean, except for this part right here, which is a downside. but you compensate for the blood altar, which actually regenerates your health, even if you use bloodletting to take out your own health, to replenish your energy, which is sometimes is necessary to do. Anyways, now let's get to the person I'm gonna laugh at, because this dipshit obviously didn't know anything about the Blood Queen Garuda, and obviously he has to be some kind of freaking retard if you haven't done the Garuda questline or the Fortuna quest along with it. So anyways, this guy here, Bingo Black, he tells me I have to stop sucking them so they can kill them. Now this is a guy here who obviously is so salty, he doesn't understand the concept of what Garuda does. See, even if it doesn't matter how much health you have, but I've noticed at times, you know, when I use the when I use the blood altar, I notice that most people don't have an issue, but this guy seems like he has a big issue with Garuda's blood altar. I mean, Garuda is a vampiric queen, vampiric blood queen, which some people may not know. Some people are maybe just too stupid to know about vampire, or I should say vampire folklore, and some of you goth people would know exactly what I'm talking about. And they always say in Bram Stoker's Dracula, blood is the life. Well, anyways, of course you could tell I'm not using any guns. I'm not using, I'm just using the talons. Well, I do have one gun, which is the Vastel Prime, which I actually named it after me, right here. You can get this done at any merchant in the city, any faction city. You can always rename it to your name or whatever you want to do. Of course, I'm not using any melee. I'm not using any primary because I'm more of a I'm a close quarters fighter. In some cases, I can go into close quarter fighting. Most cases, I could go range. It really depends on how I feel. But like I said in my earlier videos, even on Twitch, excuse me, even on Twitch, I enjoy using Garuda because she's the character, my spitting image of what I am, which is a vampiric but wild and crazy side. And there's some people like that one I was showing you who, excuse me, hasn't grasped the concept of Garuda's capabilities, abilities, or anything in that nature. So, you know, I can only say this to a salty gamer: if you have an issue with Garuda, and a little disclaimer I'm going to put here, if you have an issue with anybody using Garuda, then don't even bother being in the same group with a Garuda, because it's not for you. And I've seen people puss out in the middle of a fight, during when there's times there could be two Garudas doing simultaneously damage, whatever the case may be. And the thing is, use what you think is comfortable, but use your abilities the way you want to use them. And if anybody who's salty and tries to boss you about your abilities of your Warframe, you're doing a good job of doing what you need to do to play your role. Don't let anybody tell you differently. And pretty much, for word, and this goes out to the female gamers who have been having issues on Warframe with being harassed or bullied about their Warframe or their capabilities of using their Warframe. Do not listen to them. It just relatively goes to show that this Black Bingo guy obviously does not, or Bingo Black guy, whatever his name is, or Bingo Black, whatever the, you know, right there on the bottom. He obviously doesn't understand the concept of how Warframe works, and, well, that's to my knowledge. And people bitch about that, but you can still kill them, even though you can suck the life out of them. But see, the thing is, without Garuda, without doing that life sucking, you pretty much would kill the entire team, because there's some people who think that their egos are probably too big and whatever the case may be. And that's the typical male. I'm not going to say all male or all men are like that, which is not what I'm getting at, but I'm just pretty much saying that well, some men, not all, a certain percentage of men who have that logic of there because they think that their ego is better than everybody else, and you have a few other guys who are mad cool and they don't complain about it. It's the first time somebody has actually complained about me using Garuda, but you know what? At the end of the day, fuck them. So anyways, this is Michelle. If you see any salty gamers, leave a comment below. Tell me your experiences of what has happened to you with using your Warframe. And pretty much, if you happen to like this channel or this video, please click a like, hit the notifications on the bottom, and hit the subscribe. I'm not going to be asking for any subscribers if that's the case, but at least leave a comment below in the section and tell me what your bad experiences were with salty gamers and what they have told you that is probably not irrelevant to Warframe. Like I said, play your role, Tenno. Go all out. Use your abilities all the way. And I will check y'all in the next video. This is Michelle saying peace, love, and happiness. Happy holidays. If I'm not broadcasting tomorrow, then happy holidays. Have a good Christmas. And if you go out on New Year's Eve, if you do, drive responsible. If you're plastered, stay over a friend's house or get a designated driver. Till then, this is Michelle saying peace, love, and happiness, and happy holidays to every Tenno out there. And keep up the good fight.